Hey all, Hibber here. So today I'm going to show you a division video with myself and Curls from my fleet. So I'm running the best secondary build you can possibly get on the Lepanto here, because I have Revel at 16.4 and both my inspirations at 16.4. And of course I have all the secondary mods on the ship here. And obviously in the 4th slot we also have the legendary secondary mod, right? So this one gives you 5% extra damage per kill, and it's just silly on the ship here, it really is. So I have the enhanced secondary targeting. You can take the spotting plane or the plane instead if you're gonna, spot for yourself. So 65%, 100,000 damage on average, and yeah, looks pretty good. So I'm really happy with this ship here. It's really fun to play, and it's also really good. Tier 8 seems to be where the most interesting battleships sit, because obviously there's Lepanto and there's also Marco Polo. I like that one, I think it's fun. At Legendary tier I really only play the Yamato. Other than that I don't really find any of the ships up there very interesting. Battleships, that is, of course, because there's many interesting legendary cruisers. So like I said, this is a division video, and I think it's the first division battle I'm playing in Lepanto here, where I'm teaming up with Curls from my fleet, like I said. And we were playing some Minotaur battles before this, but we got sick of it and said, okay, let's do a double Lepanto with full secondary builds. And if anything, this is a lot of fun to play. It's very unfair to the red team, but divisions are always unfair, but this is a particularly unfair division, and I can only imagine if we had 3 of these ships, how much like absolute mayhem we could be causing the red team, because that means you have 3 crawling smokes and you can pretty much just go anywhere you want to go on the map, as long as you don't fire your main guns like I'm doing here, because you're going to stay unspotted in the smoke. And torps, it's a problem, but it's not really that much of a problem because you have those crazy secondaries, right? My build here is 10 kilometers with sap secondaries, and they just chew through anything that gets too close. And if you're a destroyer, it's a few seconds and you're gone. Especially if there's 3 Lepantos, then you don't want to be spotted at all, because it's instant death. So it's a powerful ship for sure, and I'm not gonna say it's overpowered, because I don't think it is. It can be countered quite easily, but once you team up with someone else and you are, sharing smokes, and you have pretty good spotting like we do in this game here, it turns into pretty much a cheat code, really. So all we want to do in this game here is just to use the smoke to put ourselves in the middle of the map, really, and then just let the secondaries do the work from then on. Because I have 10 kilometers range, I think Curls has a little bit less than that, but it doesn't matter. Anything in range, like I said before, will get pulverized by just 2 Lepantos. Now imagine 3, I can't, I really want to try that, and hopefully we'll do it soon, but like I said, that's also super duper unfair, like crazy unfair to the red team. But what can you do? So we were kind of hoping the Reds would start pushing, because we're in a good position now. We just need someone to shoot at, really, and no one seems to be interested. There's one New Jersey out here, and he's running towards the back of the map, so he's not really going to be an option. We're going to need something that's within 10 kilometers, right? And the 2 battleships to the left, 3 battleships, sorry, that's the target. But they're holding back, and we were hoping they were going to push, because there's no destroyer over on that side. So it would be fairly easy for them to do, but they are, they're thinking a little bit about it, it looks like. So I just get impatient and say, okay, well, I want to get my secondaries firing. We are 5 minutes into the game, so let's get going. But before we do that, I just realized, okay, it looks like the Brandenburg is pushing. So we're just gonna make sure that he doesn't do that, because we don't want to deal with him out on that flank there. And Curls is way ahead on me on that. So just the annoying carrier. Yeah, but we'll deal with him later. So all we have to do is just make this Brandenburg here change his mind, so he turns around, and then we're going to push out on the other side of the island, because then we're going to have 3 targets out there, as a minimum 3 targets, and that's when you can really rack up the secondary damage there, especially if you have the targets on either side of your ship, which we probably won't have here, but it's still better than nothing, because time is running out, and we need to have some action. So to be honest, I don't really think there's many interesting tier 8s, if any interesting tier 8s really, at least in the tech tree. Now, of course, Lepanto is an exception to that rule, because like I said in the beginning of the video, this game here, this ship here is fun. Like, it's actually a lot of fun to play, and it gives you a different, experience when you play Legends, and I always enjoy that, because I don't want this game to turn stale, and that's what I'm trying not to here. So now we're out, and we're smoking up as well. Unfortunately, we lose spot, and none of us have a plane, but that's alright, because he gets spotted again, and this is where both of our secondaries kicks in, and it just looks hilarious. In a minute he'll be spotted again, and look at that. It's like 4th of July fireworks right there, and it just goes on and on and on and on, and there's nothing you can do about it, because we're not firing, we are unspotted in our smoke. So as long as someone, look at that, is spotting this Iwami here, I think, oh, it's just carrier torps, no problem. As long as someone is spotting this Iwami here, he's going to be absolutely peppered. And unfair, yeah, I guess you can say so, but pretty much the same as destroyers. So now we get spotted. Just gonna give him a little bit of a finisher there, because I don't want him to actually fire his guns. So that's 1 battleship down, and the Brandenburg is like down to 1% health, so Curls get him. And then the Richelieu comes around the corner here, and we're just waiting for him, because the rest are running out of ships now, and I think he realizes that. But he is trying to protect himself the best he can. I'm just getting in a naughty salvo there, but a little bit optimistic. But anyway, it did work. So the carrier's out there, but we're gonna save him till after we get rid of the Richelieu. Like, the carrier's not a threat at this point here, and neither is the French battleship here either, really. But it's still, it's better to get him out of the way, and then we can just kill the carrier without any resistance at all. So Curls is using his smoke again, so I'm just popping in, and look at all those secondaries. That's what I'm thinking. This would be so much fun with 3 Lepantos instead of 2. I'm a little bit too broadside here. I think I was expecting not to be spotted. I'm hoping that's the reason I'm this broadside. Anyway, the Richelieu is gonna get deleted in a second, and that means that there's only 1 battleship left, and it's the New Jersey. And the carrier is undefended, and he's just sitting there fully spotted by our destroyer. So we can just turn around. I'm trying to turn quite quickly here, because I have the New Jersey on my right, and I don't want to show broadside to him more than I absolutely have to. So just gonna point my bow towards the New Jersey. There is his salvo, but it doesn't really change anything. I can still shoot at the carrier while I am approaching the last battleship here over on the right flank. So Lepanto is definitely a fun ship, and like I said, probably the only tier 8 ship that's really worth investing in. Like, really, there's a few interesting ones, but nothing that really jumps out and says, hey, you absolutely have to have this ship here, other than Lepanto. I think it's a must, because this is, in my opinion, the only secondary focused ship that actually works in this game here. Any of the other ones, Schlieffen, maybe. I still don't think it's as good as Lepanto, because Lepanto can just remove destroyers very, very quickly with these sap shells here, much quicker than Schlieffen can. And I find that more useful, and yeah, that's why I just prefer this ship here. So now we just have the New Jersey left. So I'm just keeping him here so I'm not spotted behind this little, whatever, rock outcropping thingy here. And I have a rolling smoke ready. So I'm just gonna pop it, I'm just gonna time it right here. I'm gonna heal, pop the smoke, and then pop a secondary boost. And that should get me pretty good damage on this New Jersey here. He's not broadside, he is, angled a little bit, but it should be okay. It is sap shells, that's not really much of a problem. So there we go, I'm unspotted, and I can just sit here and, slowly whittle him down, and there's nothing he can do about it. He needs to be within 2 kilometers of me before he's able to spot me, and if that's what's going on, I'll just, you know, fire. Really. So at this moment here, Curls is saying, "Oh, I'm gonna sinking," and I'm like, "No, no, I want him. He's mine." So I fire. I shouldn't have done that, but it doesn't matter. I was expecting to one-shot him there, but because I didn't want Curls to get the kill. That was the only reason. So anyway, we get him removed, and 400 secondary hits, and 1 plane away from a medal, but not getting one, unfortunately. So we'll just skip the last boring bit here because nothing really happens, and that's the end of the battle. So if you have, you know, Division friends and you happen to have the tier 8 Italian Lepanto, then this is a fun way to play. It's totally unfair, but it's fun. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.